I support South Africans with their Operation Dula that they are doing in their country, where they are sacking African nationals, African migrants out of their country, because I believe for Africa to be great, for Africa to move forward as a continent, it's very important or necessary we stay back in our individual countries and fight for the change or be the change we are looking for, we are searching for in our individual countries. But also, I don't support the how South Africans are going about this whole Operation Dula. So I think it's a right goal, but a wrong execution. And I've done a video on that, explaining why I don't support how they are exercising the Operation Dula, but I support the aim of the exercise or the operation. And in this video, we are going to double down on why I don't support the how they are doing the Operation Dula, because news coming out from South Africa is that they are giving African nationals 21 days to exit South Africa. And just as I said right now, I support the aim of the Operation Dula, but I don't support the how they are going about it or they are executing the operation, because I believe the best way to go about this is allowing your leaders to take responsibility of what? Of this operation. Giving the responsibility to your leaders or your authorities to carry out such an operation in evicting foreign or African nationals or migrants. I go by the name Yama, and this is New World News. And today is your first time coming across content from this channel and find value in it. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like, share, and comment, so you get back-to-back content just like this. So, Mr. Cyrus Annan of Ubuntu Network, I recommend you guys go search his channel, Ubuntu Network, on YouTube, and subscribe to his channel too. Yeah, he has done a video about the ultimatum that South Africans or the people of Operation Dula has given to African migrants to exit South Africa in 3 weeks or 21 days, less than a month. And we are going to watch the video and react and also give our 2 cents about the situation.
The difficulty is with the regular people of South Africa, especially those in the ANC party. Many of you guys are simply gullible. Can't you see that the weaknesses of this party's heads are the reasons for all the problems you are going through in South Africa? Can't you see for once ANC voters that for many decades you voted for these people, and every time you come back and protest on the streets against illegal African migrants and drug peddling and joblessness, and in all of those decades, the one common denominator that has been in the center of it all is your ANC party, which you never consider confronting. Can't you see? This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Mbalula, if I may ask, your statement, whose responsibility is it to enforce those laws? Who appoints the heads of the South African Police Service and the Home Affairs? Who is holding them back from exercising their duties, if I may ask you, sir? These are the things you say to your foot soldiers, the party foot soldiers, which indirectly incites them to pick up their sticks.
So that's it. This is what I've been saying all this while, that the aim is a right aim or right goal, right? In the sense that foreign, it makes sense if you guys say African nationals are taking your businesses, they are taking your women, and you guys don't want them there. You have all the right to do that or to say that and make that decision and act on it, right? In finding a solution to curb that problem, right? But you guys being violent, you guys being harassing your brothers and sisters, fellow African people in your country, it's a no-no. I don't think, I believe if all African countries are also doing same to South Africans living in their country, because obviously there will be there are some South Africans who are living in other African countries. In Ghana here, if my source is right, I think there are more than 3,000 South Africans living in Ghana here. Yeah, so if we Ghanaians to go on the streets looking for South Africans to harass them and be violent to them, be hitting and treating them harshly, I don't think it would be nice. I don't. It will more of like bring division in Africa, bring war, bring It wouldn't be a nice thing to see on the continent, right? For maybe Nigerians also looking for South Africans living in their country and also mistreating them. I don't think it would be nice. So the aim is good, the goal is good, right? And I support you guys fully. In my first video that I did about this whole Operation Dudula, I threw my support for you guys at your back. That I'm full support, and I believe, I believe, if all African countries, their nationals or their people are staying back in their country and grabbing the bull by head on, I mean, facing the problems of their particular country and tackling it and solving their problems, there will be no need for us to travel outside our individual countries to other countries, let alone go to even foreign countries in foreign continents, right? So not only do I support South Africans sacking away African nationals, but also if any foreign country, I mean the European countries, right, or Asian countries are sacking African nationals from their country, I'll still support that, because as I said in my previous video, if me personally, if I want to travel outside of this country, I'm not traveling outside of this country in search of greener pastures in another country. If I'll travel, I'm traveling because I'm a tourist. I'm going on a vacation or something, like maybe there's a business I'm going to do, but for me to travel out of this place with zero and go there with the aim of searching for greener pastures, I'm going to make millions in that particular country. I don't think a day will come that I'll take that decision and act on it. Yeah.
I must confess, this is so difficult to discuss because this is so out of line in South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, the Operation Dudula and March on March anti-immigration groups in South Africa are only intensifying their actions after all the discussions, diplomatic discussions from across Africa with South African government. This thing is far from the end. They are now actually giving out ultimatums to African migrants in South Africa, especially in Durban, Joburg and Pretoria, to leave the country in less than 1 month. This comes right after a meeting between their leaders and the South African authorities. They have been invited by the South African Police Service on harassment charges. They have even been invited to a court to meet a judge, and yet this is what they decided to do. They have decided to give an ultimatum to all African migrants living in their country to immediately close their shops, sell off all they own, including their shops, their houses, their cars and everything, and leave South Africa in less than 1 month. At this point, it doesn't even matter whether you are there legally or illegally. The situation has quickly moved beyond going after undocumented African migrants at this point. That's how it started though, but this is not how the situation is currently. They simply want all African migrants to check out of their country effective immediately. And to African migrants who are even married to South Africans with kids, they want them to take their kids with them back to where they came from. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where the situation is at the moment. They simply do not care about your reason for being there, whether legally or illegally. So long as you are not a local, you gotta go. This is one of the videos of a Ghanaian community and other African migrants who were invited to a meeting with the anti-immigration groups. I want you to see this video and hear what this guy had to say after their meeting. Take a look at the video.
Video in come Ghana for you as over Ghana. Me didn't see, yeah, and that's 5th of May. The same no cafe, almost to your shop 13 days. I'm no cafe. And they almost saying that's a young meeting, about meeting. Yeah, yet to say almost your mama in 21 days and 24 months. Now, but your show, and you put don't move as 21 days, almost 24 months. Your business was you never be about engine to 21 days engine to. You patch up Mumbai, Ghana for Mumbai, and paying for Mumbai. On my man 21 days, I will go in 21 days and 24 months. Next 21 days, you better have to turn your dime, you better have to turn your cars, you better have to turn your business.
They are given 21 days.
So, what the person speaking is a Ghanaian and he's speaking the three dialects, right? So he's saying that they had a meeting with the Operation Dula people, the South African authorities, and what they are saying, what the South Africans are saying is they are giving them 21 days to close down their businesses, sell their houses or businesses and their cars and everything, their properties, and go out of the country or leave the country. And the Ghanaian man is saying it can't work. It won't work because selling, like the time is not enough. The time period they're giving them is not enough that they can close down their shops and sell their businesses and their shops and their cars and their houses and their properties and leave the country. It's not enough. That's what he's saying, right? But I would want to ask my Ghanaian brother who is making this video that Sanka oti women and why just have business in Oklahoma. Obi betima be pamu wana. Obi betima be pamu wana. Omu say Ghana ha ye bu baby say ye de awo na ye den na chichi kru. But obi man so na bi ono so sa be no it doesn't work like onim sa be no. Eti Ghana ya ji awongo say be ji foreign say be Nigerians one Congolese for Burkina for Baha Nigerians Baha Lebanese women na Baha ya ji omu ni apepepe ni e kan ye bu baby say we twika say be say ye de awo na ye den na de chichi kru. But maybe a South Africa one more for our one year and it's before you even leave your country to someone's country. You should do your background checks and everything, their background checks and everything. But that's not the point. What I'm trying to say is supposing say you're in Ghana and acquire all these businesses, what to talk cars, what is why your business? Why and the ever catcher will say to free Ghana. Obian over down with Marcus as natural. What must it's Mr. Moba Ghana ha say if Bibia cost to come na mutimi bab Ghana ha mutimi tom Bibia na munya musika Ghana ha mo investors can wo ko maya mo ya madwe se mo ya pam we fi South Africa mo ba Ghana mo be free Ghana akọ be free bia US UK won so mo pam mo aba na bia country na bia obekọ na bia now they are not sacking you, don't sack you guys now, but that actually be what you said, that should be near Bepamu, and that should be near who came now, who crackle, maybe our back, and we are do like Robin or properties. Maybe a Satan and give you Satan, maybe some minors or murder, do sack you guys. So, Ghanaians, Nigerians, African people, let's stay in our individual countries. As a woman said, we are all one people, we are all black people, but it's necessary, it's needed, sir. You best yes, ye man. As na even anyankofai a day temu a very strong. Yen yaji to say what down for be not sad down, they be on sacco, they be on sacco on samba. You agree to say sad down for me down for papa. If you have a friend that all the time you are the one helping that friend, all the time you are the one helping that friend, and that friend it's not helping you back. It's not like he's not in the capacity to help you. He's in that ability or capacity to help you back, but he's not doing it and giving silly excuses for not helping you back. You agree to it that friend is not a good friend, and the relationship between you guys won't be healthy or isn't healthy. So this is the same way here, right? It seems like young Ghana a significant amount of our population is in South Africa, more than the South Africans in Ghana here. I believe Ghanaians are South Africa, maybe 1 million. If I'm right, I think we can reach 1 billion. Meanwhile, South Africa last time it is yes more Ghana. Yes, someone drew 3,000. Oh, someone drew 3,000. One more 3,000. So I don't think say on crap when they are doing the normal works. Yeah, what must say? Meanwhile, no matter what you do, some of them can see and it's there's evidence because self proper can see I say what business no property fire only say Tony Magana have me yes let me allocate any South African I will be a shop and I'll be sir but my say oh South African to almost here what must say so Ghanaians Nigerians Africans let's stay in our individual countries and what be the change or fight for the change we are looking for we are searching for.
Days actually to dispose themselves of all they own in South Africa and leave, and this video came out just on the 5th of this month. I have friends in South Africa who are so terrified with their circumstances and are willing to give up everything to stay alive and eventually leave. Do you know they don't even care if you are a pregnant woman needing medical attention. They don't care. The spirit of Ubuntu in South Africa is simply disappeared. Ladies and gentlemen, I took my...
Who is Ubuntu? And what spirit of Ubuntu is that? I'll do that research and so I can understand what Mr. Saros is talking about. The spirit of Ubuntu dead. I believe maybe it's one of their one of South Africa's leaders or personalities who back in the days maybe there's something significant for the country or for the people of South Africa. His name sounds interesting.
Faces of the leaders of these two groups, and two things became apparent after seeing this particular video. I want you to see this other video. It's obvious.
Honestly speaking, I like this cultural, warlike dressing, right? In this protest, like it's honestly speaking, right? South Africans, like kudos to you guys. Though I don't support the how you guys are executing this goal, but this particular protest, the way you guys are dressed in a warlike manner, like your traditional warlike attire, it's nice, like display of culture somewhere. But you guys are not scary, bro. You guys like your chants and your attire is not scary, right? I said this to say that if all African countries are also doing same in their individual countries towards South Africans, bro, it will be a bloodshed. And we are more scarier than you guys. I mean, Ghanaians and Nigerians to be specific, bro. We are more scarier when we are like, we are also attacking South Africans in Ghana or Nigeria, bro. And we should wear our traditional war attire, bro. We are more scarier, right? But anyways, your attire is nice. Like I like the display of culture there. Yeah.
It's not just the people doing this, but there are many in South African police service who are clearly, obviously in support of what's happening. I will not be shocked to know that even the ANC government is in support of what's going on now. They have all this while been in charge. I'm referring to the ANC. Last year, the Secretary General of the ANC, in his speech defending President Ramaphosa's statement that Nigerians coming to South Africa without passport, also said this. Take a look at this video.
This includes immigrants who engage in criminal activities and South Africans who enable this criminality by illegally registering businesses or aiding criminal behavior, zamazamas, drug peddlers and drug laboratories, and illegal immigrants. Our patience has been overstretched. South Africa's hospitality must never be mistaken for weakness. Our communities cannot live in fear. The law must be enforced. The time is now.
The more I watch these kinds of videos of the utterances of some of African leaders, the more I know these guys should have never been in positions of power. This is the head of the political party that has ruled South Africa for 32 years. Mr. Mbalula, if I may ask, your statement, whose responsibility is it to enforce those laws? Who appoints the heads of the South African Police Service and the Home Affairs? Who is holding them back from exercising their duties, if I may ask you, sir? These are the things you say to your foot soldiers, the party foot soldiers, which indirectly incites them to pick up their sticks. When you are a leader of a political party that has been in...
So if I'm understanding this right, the leaders or the people, the leaders of the ANC party in South Africa, they are saying that Nigerians are peddling drugs, they are into drugs and all that, and they are selling drugs in their country, and they are illegal immigrants and all that. And South Africans' hospitality shouldn't be mistaken for weakness and all that. And he's commenting on what Nigerians and other African nationals are doing in their country, like the negative things that they are doing in their country that they don't like. And Mr. Saros is also asking him, whose responsibility is it to check these immigrants, these African people in your country who are doing these bad stuff? It's the police, it's the police, right? It's their responsibility to locate these people and catch them and arrest them and punish them. So if your police are not doing what's right, then the people, these African migrants or illegal people who are doing these negative things, they will do it more, right? They will do it more. I'm like, we are not saying you can't comment on it or draw the attention of your people or warn the African migrants who are doing that to stop. We are not saying you don't comment on it, but they are like, you should channel that to your police for them to do their work properly, right? For them to do their work properly, because I heard, or my information I know about South African police is that they are one of the police forces in the continent that they are very corrupt. They like taking bribes, right? Ghana here, our police, they do take bribes. They do take bribes, but in Ghana here, it's the bribes that our police take is more of like road regulations and laws, like people who are using the roads, right? I mean, commercial transport systems. They are the ones that our police normally take bribes from them. We call them short year, right? In Kenya, I think they call it, or all they even call it, right? But it's very difficult that a criminal, maybe a thief, or maybe someone is into drugs and police will be taking bribes from them in Ghana here. Like, I haven't seen anything or I haven't heard of such a thing in Ghana here. But in South Africa, what I know about your police force is that they take bribe. If you've killed someone, if you've murdered someone, and they are there to arrest you, you can just pay them off and they'll just leave you alone. That's what I know about South African police. So I think you guys should also check your police force and take out the bad nuts in the police force, right? You guys have to check them.
Been in office for over 3 decades, uninterrupted, and you come out to communicate your challenges to your followers, and yet you haven't done anything significant to solve their problems, to actually bring to an end the issues they are raising. Then what is the point of communicating the problem to them every year? What is the point in your holding power? Ladies and gentlemen, it's absurd. There is no responsibility on the part of the government. And my difficulty is with the regular people of South Africa, especially those in the ANC party. Many of you guys are simply gullible. Can't you see that the weaknesses of this party's heads are the reasons for all the problems you are going through in South Africa? Can't you see for once ANC voters that for many decades you voted for these people, and every time you come back and protest on the streets against illegal African migrants and drug peddling and joblessness, and in all of those decades, the one common denominator that has been in the center of it all is your ANC party, which you never consider confronting. Can't you see? This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen.
So I think most African countries share the same problem, or we have so many things in common in terms of our development in our countries, right? In our individual countries. So the joblessness and all that happening in South Africa, it's also the same problem we are facing in Ghana here, right? The youth in this country, the government is not creating jobs for us to do. And when you as an individual, you as a Ghanaian youth, you find your ways and means to make a living for yourself legally, like you try to be an entrepreneur, set up a business for yourself and doing, the government will then come back and would want to exploit you, extort money from you. Like the government will come, you have to pay taxes, which I'm not saying it's wrong for the government to ask for taxes from the people, but what I know or my understanding about taxes is you create jobs for the people, and when the people are working, they can what? You can tax them, right? Or you create a fertile grounds for the people to what? To do business, right? Or work, right? Or be productive, and then you can what? You can tax them. But in Ghana, our health sector is poor, our education sector is poor, our road system is poor. Like nothing is working in this country, right? Nothing is working in this country, and now the country too is expensive. Now everything is costly, is pricey. But youths are finding ways and means to make a living. Recently, the delivery couriers, I don't know if I mentioned it right. Delivery Okoma, Ghana. I mean the Okada people who do the delivery, right? This job opportunity is a space or industry that the government can step in and make sure that things run smoothly for both the people working, right, the people doing the delivery itself, and the companies at stake, the shareholders and all that, and make sure that things are running smoothly and people will get more jobs in this thing, right? But the government is not doing that, and young men and women are doing this business, and then the government will just come like, you guys have to pay tax to the government. After you paying tax to the government through the companies you are working with, the government is asking for another tax, right? So what I've realized about our African leaders is they always find ways and means to put blame on other people. In Ghana here, if currently NDC is in power, when they are doing something wrong, or when things are not on the right path, or things are not right, and we the people, the citizens, we complain, we protest, we demonstrate, they go like, we are better than the MPP party, we are better than the opposition party, right? You guys should blame the opposition party because when they were in power, they messed things up. So we are here to now fix things, and after we have fixed them, then we can continue or take the country to the next level, right? So what I've realized with South African people is their leaders is they are putting the blame on the immigrants, right? Instead of them fixing the problems that you guys are facing, I mean South Africans are facing, they are not fixing them and they are putting the blame on immigrants. Whereas in Ghana here, if NDC is in power, they'll put the blame on MPP. If MPP comes to power, they'll put the blame on NDC. And in Nigeria like this too, there is West. Yes, bro, they are also blaming the people. The leaders are blaming the people for the country not progressing. So I think we have things in common. I mean in terms of negative things that's retarding our growth as countries in this continent, and also the people who are giving the mantle to fix these problems, they also have things like the same thing in common, in the sense that they always find ways and means to put blame on other people or other things instead of they accepting the responsibility and fixing things.
You are willing to chase after African migrants in the streets. You are willing to go after their shops and their properties, beat them down, and even their children born in the country. You are even ready to go after their children, but you never confront the immigration service of South Africa. That is allowing all these Nigerians, Ghanaians, Zimbabweans that you talk about, and the rest of Africans to come into your country. Are you aware many of these African migrants, by the way, who are in your country had to come to your country by air? And if they come by air, they will have to come with a passport and a valid visa. and go through the immigration office at the airport? Are you aware of this? If you know this is true, why don't you charge on the Home Affairs Department? Your president Ramaphosa is busy saying a lot about Palestine and Iran and about other countries, but slow in taking actions at solving the problems that confront
South Africa.
Whose fault is that? Look at how the president of El Salvador.
This is the same thing our what's his name? Our foreign affairs minister wanted to do that. I dislike. I didn't like when the Trump administration went to capture or they went to arrest or kidnap Venezuela's president Maduro, and our foreign affairs minister was the first to write a letter to Trump saying that he should release Maduro, and he's stepping or it's not right for him to kidnap or capture a sovereign country's president. And I'm like, yo, bro, there are problems in this country that needs to be solved. There are important and necessary things that you need to address in terms of your position as a foreign minister. I don't think this is one of them. Right? This is not one of them. This shouldn't be one of them, or this shouldn't be your priority. Right? Bro, our leaders, let me translate literally. Our leaders, they come across as all-knowing when it comes to other people's problems, other countries' problems. But when it comes to to problems at home, they are nowhere to be found. Right? They are ready, they are fast to speak or talk on issues concerning other countries, but when it comes to the issues in their home country, which is their responsibility to find solutions to them, they are lost. They are nowhere to be found.
The problem of drug gangs in his country. A 43-year-old president went on a mission with the military. He sacked all the heads of the security agencies, built a new prison system, arrested over 84,000 drug kingpins in El Salvador, hardcore drug lords and their gang members who were also heavily armed and into voodoo practices and satanic rituals. He arrested them all, jailed them, and cleaned up the streets of his country in a matter of 4 years. Haven't you seen these things? In 4 years. Don't you have internet? That's the record of President Nayib Bukele of El Salvador. African leader.
I heard of this man, I think last 2 years, the president of El Salvador, Bukele. And I think last year or last 2 years, Trump or one of these American presidents was like, yo, he want to ship some immigrants or some criminals to El Salvador's prison, because the American people has concluded that the best prison facility to host this hard core criminals in their country, America, is El Salvador. And what I like about El Salvador's president is way of addressing this criminality in his country is, after arresting these people, it doesn't just leave them to be in the prison facilities, but he's finding, or he has created skills like programs, right? Programs and vocational skills that these prisoners can learn in the prison, right? And he's utilizing the prisoners, the criminals, in the sense that he's using them to build the country, right? Where necessary places that he can use them, like places that he can use them or he can utilize them, he use them there. And this is the quality of a visionary leader. This is a quality of a good leader who knows how to locate a problem, find solution to it, and then use the solution to help the country to grow and move forward and progress. El Salvador was one of the dangerous countries in the world with murder rates out of the roof. But now El Salvador is one of the safest countries, and a 43-year-old man was the one leading this country, what's turning this country around, right? And we have African leaders whose own is just speak, talk, and come across as wise, as intelligent, as smart, but when it comes to the practicality, they are nowhere to be found. That is theory. You can't just read the policies to us and make promises, good promises and good policies, read them to us, and they sound all knowing. But when it comes to them going on the grounds and doing what they said they would do, they are nowhere to be found.
A complete waste of time and opportunity. Sometimes that's how I look at them. Trump is going about arresting illegal migrants in his country. If that's what has to be done, then it has to be done by the state, by law enforcement.
This is nice, bro. This is nice, bro. When Trump came to power and he started arresting illegal immigrants in this country, I was in support of it, bro. I had friends or some of my Ghanaian friends, Ghanaian people were like, yo, they don't support what Trump is doing, and these people are more of Americans now because they've stayed in America for so many years. Some are in America for 20, 30, 40, 50 years now, and they are helping the country, the US grow, and they are working, bro. The man is seeing what this will cost for his country in the next future, how this is going to affect his people in the coming years, bro. And he's finding ways and means to stop it and find the solutions to it before it gets worse. And you are here saying what, right? And I was also disappointed in American people. Some American people who were like, why is Trump sacking away the illegal immigrants, or why is Trump arresting or deporting immigrants from America, and he should leave them, and America was built by immigrants. I was disappointed in those citizens. I don't know whether they are in the leftist or the opposition people party of America. I don't know of Trump's party. I don't know. But if you guys will just sit down and just ask, think about what Trump is doing, you will see that he is doing what is best for you people. In the sense that Trump is saying that these immigrants are like taking jobs that needs to be done or that American people need to do, right? And he's scared or he's afraid that to get to a point that now you people will be like, we don't have no work to do because these immigrants have come to take our works, their jobs, and they are doing. We don't have any work to do. So, like what South Africans are doing now. And what South Africans are doing now, Spain has done same. Spain were protesting that they want immigrants out of their country, and that immigrants are taking over their country. I think France too did same last year, I think. So it's something that's there. So Trump saw this and it's like, no. Same way Trump stopped the importation into America, and he's looking at exporting more, or Americans consuming their own produce, right? In the sense that if the more you import, the more you are vulnerable, right? And Trump saw this during the COVID-19 era period when he realized that during the COVID-19, the lockdown, shops were empty in matter of days, right? Businesses were businesses were destroyed in matter of days because most of these businesses are foreign-owned businesses. They are not American-owned businesses, right? And most of the things they consume in America are imported, right? Their cars, their food, most of them. So Trump's second term, it was the farmers who voted for Trump. Majority of them voted for Trump. Why? Because Trump invested in the agriculture. Because before that, what we were eating, I mean the agricultural produce that we were eating were mostly imported. So we need leaders in Africa who can locate or see a problem from afar and stop or prevent the problem from even happening in real time. Or we need leaders who can identify a problem that's in the system or that's in the country and find solutions to it, rather than going about blaming other people or putting blame on other people and other things.
The way these hooligans in South Africa have taken to the streets to beat up people. Look at all the mess. It's so hard for me to process this, ladies and gentlemen. Such a beautiful country like South Africa, with cities comparable to New York City, where you see a melting pot of people from all around the world to come down to this level of low. This is shameful. Should New Yorkers also behave like you are doing because immigrants are engaging in all sorts of illicit businesses in New York? No. They call the police. They call the relevant security forces. They change their mayor or governor when the time is due. They use law enforcement agencies. They don't charge on the streets and destroy lives and properties. This is backward. So grotesque for a modern city like Durban or Pretoria. My conclusion, however, is this. The ANC government is infiltrated with people who collude with these drug peddlers and illegal enterprises. They grant them the access to the South African market. They empower them to do what they do. Therefore, the ANC party and government is completely compromised. The South African Police Service in itself is also compromised. The Home Affairs Ministry is equally compromised. They are compromised at various levels, and that explains why, ladies and gentlemen, these government structures and agencies cannot bring about solutions to these problems. The South African people have realized this. They've realized that their state institutions are in bed with these people. They are left on their own at this point to take matters into their own hands. This is why we see what we see. This should have never happened if the ANC party wasn't the problem. The ANC party is South Africa's biggest problem. I'll leave it here. My name is Cyrus from Ghana. Be sure to subscribe and click on the bell for more offside content. If you find value on this network, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. It is bye-bye for now.
I've subscribed to Ubuntu Network by Mr. Sarasana, and I recommend you do so. I recommend you subscribe to Ubuntu Network and also subscribe to this channel too, right? Remember to subscribe to this channel too and find value in it, in the content that we produce, because this is not the only content I produce. I produce different kinds of content too, which are interesting, which I think will tickle your interest too, right? So I got the name Niama, and this is New News. Hope to catch you on the next episode. I'm out.